Hello and welcome back to another episode of Appaloosa Plains. I am Robbie of the McFly variety, and it's really awesome to be back here. I think we're gonna switch up gears a little bit. You know, we've been working in this area here, this downtown kind of space. I really should come up with a better name for it, but basically our riverside city piece. Kind of like a tourist destination, but it's going to have direct connection to our actual metropolitan city, right here in the middle of the suburbs, right? It just was such a good place to come, so they built it. Now, before we say what we're going to get into today, I did come through and do some lane marking stuff. I think these just look better. This one being 4 ways of bike, I like to put the grid in there, but I think these just look a lot nicer. I may have even got the end. I did do the end, it's just not as much detail as other ones, right? But look at the amount of people. That's so much. We might end up having to put a whole bridge piece over this. Depends on what we get going on with that. Along with that, we also, where was it? Why is that? Has this always been green? Huh. Now these are a little bit dead, but we did come in here and put some bushes and some more trees down. It just kind of was a little bit barren, and can't really think of what else we really got done. Why is everyone backing up here? They'll handle themselves in time. And I do believe I want to add some extra lanes here, but we'll take care of that another time. I'm trying to think of what else I really got done in between episodes. I may have done a few things and then kind of like, oh nope, here's another one of them. We're gonna kind of focus on this road as to be a direct, like a local connection to the city up there, instead of it being a continuation of the industry coming up there. I think that'll just look better. We might have to add a second lane in here eventually. We'll see what happens as traffic gets busier with this road. As for right now, we're fine. But I think the unconventional thing we're going to do today, what all that was leading up to, is, I've mentioned that I kind of want to build suburbia out here, right? And that's all going to start by unlocking this tile. So, because we need this tile to get this tile, and I'm not really concerned about this tile just yet. I don't know how many we have left, but like they're gonna, no matter what, they're gonna get more expensive, right? The only thing about it is it really does not. It's not gonna create much of a benefit, but we got good money coming in. Really, it's gonna give us land across the way, and maybe I can utilize that somehow. But for right now, I'm not really worried about it. We're just gonna go ahead and purchase this tile, and we're gonna start building the more like this. It's going to be more similar to this kind of style of housing coming out, and really defining how we would intend to make that happen. So I'm pretty excited for this one. This is going to be fun to make all this space back here work, and seeing what I can do with transit in order to be able to make that connection too. Now, another thing I want to keep in mind as we do this, I think I want to utilize maybe like this space, or I need to look into exactly how am I going to go about putting a train terminal in, because we may not be putting the boat terminal in, but we are definitely going to put a train one in, I believe, and it just makes logical sense. So I need to keep that in mind as I design all this, so that it can make its connections out here, because we could, like with this coming across here, I could take that over and through the mountains, but that's also gonna maybe come through the mountain here, underground, under like the national park, and off to this side, come back out as it climbs its way down in order to make it through. Now that's a lot to think about. I just gotta make sure I remember it. So let's go ahead and clear out our trees. Now looking at it, I really like this front bay road should be a focal point, but I may not be able to do that. May have to focus on this strip being the connectors into the avenue that makes its way down, which do make sense. It has connections to its tram lines here. So let's just grab our dirt roads. Say we come out. Oh, there is a road there. We could probably disconnect that, because we know we're gonna have a piece here. No. Darn it. There we go. We know we're gonna have something like that here and here. There we go. And that's pretty tight. We could also leave it just for the fun of like having the old structure still there. So if we just curve this in and kind of have the idea of, I think I'd rather have that kind of angle going on. But what's our terrain like? Hold up. Ooh boy. It doesn't really make sense for there to be a straight road through the more suburban areas either way, anyway, right? So what can we build that'll be a bit more curvy? I mean, for the rest of that being really straight, it kind of makes sense that, like, maybe this was the original road that came in and it was able to be built straight, or it got altered to be straight as everything got developed. I'm trying to think of a history here, right? But this part wasn't connected, so they were always able to build it straight in. So with that, say I did this, which actually gives even more of a reason as to why we should have that connection there. I'll take this back, of course. Now, the only big thing is that these are outside lanes and avenues are so terrible. I wish there was a 4-lane road that actually had the tram on the outside instead of it on the inside. I'd much more prefer that. I technically have it though, don't I? I have one that's like it, but every time I load this game up, I find some fire. I don't want a 3-lane avenue going through that area. And this one is on the inside. Of course it is. And I'd rather have something smaller like this. I just think it suits the idea better. But it's on the inside. And that stinks. What did I do? Did I just deal with it? It looks like I just dealt with it. Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing else I can do with it, can I? Alright. So we'll get our... There we go. And we'll give it a slight shift. And, okay. Yeah. Acceptable alterations. Alright. So there's the start. We'll kind of fill this in with some commercial, I'm thinking. And this will be kind of the commercial that ends up being more so directed for, I don't know, like an immediate use. Do we use? We do. So maybe we'll let that district kind of overtake this space and a little bit out here, but otherwise it probably we'll start a new district starting about here and going on. I do already like it for the most part. Let's just... Cool. Alright. Now, what... do I have anything that would really make sense here? My mind goes to this market right here. And it's actually kind of perfect sized. So what if I... yeah, here we go. Take this. There we go. Take this and put it in here. And what I'm thinking is... well, what I was thinking is this would be good to put, like, the whole... pause up. The idea is, like, you think about, like, Walmart. Like, you have your things that lead into, but Walmart still has roads that have actual... you know, lanes on them. So what if... does this have parking? No. But that doesn't have its come in points, but does it really need it? So then let's see if I said that's large, this is medium. Is this... can we get... there we go. So say I take this and I put some trees on it. Right. Oh, Shift P. Oh, we're not upgrading anything. Okay, so I put it there, there, and there. Come in. Put these here. Come here. Put that there. And then copy it up to over here. Yeah, I think I can make this look a little bit nicer. That spot's not good anymore. Oh my goodness. Put just a single tree? Single tree and a bush. Chop that up a little bit. And then copy it. Turn it. And place it. Alright. A little bit more detail. It looks a bit nicer. I like that a lot more than just plopping it down and letting the sidewalk just bleed into it. I'm not a big fan of how these parking lots on buildings like this is just the bleed in of sidewalk. I wish it had more of an asphalt feel to it. Because, yeah, like this just looks like a continuation of sidewalk. So everybody's just driving on sidewalk there. It doesn't really make much sense to me. Of course, we'll have a stop here and a stop here. Those things feel a little bit obvious. Let's see if we can put a nice park in front of it. Maybe an observatory is too much, though. Maybe a garage makes sense, too, though. But not a garage this big. Don't I have one hidden away back here? Yes. And that might be perfect. Kind of a connection of the building behind it. There we go. Okay, cool. We have 2x2 spaces here. Maybe we'll use one for an office. We'll leave that corner alone. We said we wanted to use this space for... Do we have those available already? Does cargo in a sewage area... You know, the sewage does technically need to be rebuilt, doesn't it? I'm not rebuilding it today, though. But this wouldn't make sense connected to the roundabout, which it's perfect. No. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick pause to really create that separation. This is the point at which I took about 2-3 weeks off. There's about a month difference in between the clips from before and the clips coming here afterwards. The rest of the video is going to be a good amount of time lapse. Please stick around if you want to see some more progression. I guarantee you we're going to do some awesome stuff. Cargo trains are actually about to happen. It was just that I couldn't keep going. I think the things that were cut out before this were Demand Master has been introduced to the game. It's not working perfectly the way I want it to, but it's just gonna have to be us watching after and seeing things happen, making sure we keep level of everything. And there's a bakery I put down, but it just didn't feel like it correlated with what was being built, so I just kind of passed over it. There's a little bit of work that's been just taken off camera, and there's been a good bit of like maintenance work in this city that's been done off camera, and it's mostly due to my own personal mental health. So I still want to get something out. I still really love playing this game, playing this city, and seeing this slow develop. We're just gonna have to be a bit more hands-on with that development with Demand Master, and I'm willing to accept that. Any mistakes that come here from forward, I'm gonna have to accept. It's just the way it is, but it'll be okay. If you don't like time lapses, I understand. Maybe just put it on mute and let it play through. I'm still really trying to get this thing started. I'd appreciate if you did that. I understand if you don't. But either way, thanks for sticking up to this point. Let's move on. Hey, look, new sewage plant. Hidden back in the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No stinky smells by the people's houses.
So it's under the mountain where I'm gonna put the major city. I feel like there's
so
other.
much for that. God, Robert, why does your yard smell like poop? Points towards edge of cliff.
Alright, and pretty much a full month later, and one sewage plant away, and a whole lot of, like, really just waiting around, seeing if I can get this city to level up, or level out, I just had to go ahead and use Demand Master to fix the values. So, we're just going to keep an eye on levels of things. As of right now, with the change, our available jobs are 17,000, people employed are 16,000. We're just going to kind of keep an eye on that kind of thing right now. Kind of, and some kind of things with other things and kind of. So we just did this time lapse. This, like I said, this is... What are you complaining about now? Oh, because you're off. So we're going to keep moving forward with what we started talking about before. We're going to use this space for a cargo station. Now, as I build this, I also know that I really want to make sure I get one here, but I also get one over here. So we're going to have to take this branch off and probably behind here. And this might also become a cargo station space, or we'll kind of come to that as we do. We are probably going to pause and make sure we build both before we hit play again. But like we talked about before, it's going to go in this space, and I think I'm going to have it come here and go underground and just kind of slowly climb its way through the mountain on its way back over here to connect in, because trains need a specific incline. I'm really loving what we got going on here. A few other changes that kind of got made in between, like, recordings, because when I was sitting here just trying to see if the city would level out, I ended up doing some extra stuff with some roads. We have a new lane coming off here so that it can help feed into, like, the more coastal area, the residential space, because I really found that a lot of cars coming here were just trying to go straight across, which means that they're just coming over here. So by giving them this lane to come into, they can go straight forward and get into the city, and that seems to really have taken a lot of pressure off here. Before we got there, we had added this in, so now we have 3 dedicated lanes in, we have 3 dedicated lanes in, and we did it somewhere else. We have 3 dedicated lanes in, and again here too. Across a few other places moving forward, some other, like, mild road changes are pieces of these 3 lanes for trams. And also, I don't know if you can notice, these trams are a lot longer. We now are using the 410 variant with a lot more cars on the tracks, and it seems to have really leveled out nicely. So I think we're just gonna move forward into getting that cargo station going. We're going to make it another small time lapse, as I'm still trying to get back into the mindset of being able to record while playing. So thank you guys for sticking around, and let's get into it. Alright, and there she is. Honestly, kind of turned out a lot better than I really expected it to. And, you know, as soon as I set up this space, it needed to be set up again. And it's still got a little bit of backup, but this is like, it always does this. It's just a bit of a heartbeat. And it might just end up being that I'm gonna have to rip out some industrial in order to be able to. See, they seem to use this as a backbone even up here. So I might have to just rip out some industrial and put it elsewhere. We'll really see how we move forward with that in the future. But for right now, I really love the way these cargo stations are here. I use this modded one that has well, a little bit tearing there is not very nice. But I've used this modded one that has 2 of these on it because I intend to use this to connect out this way possibly. I might, like, you know, bring it all the way back here and just have a single station that reads over here, and then maybe one that, like, that will be a single, because if I put anything out here, it's probably going to be farm, and it'll probably be spread out a little bit deeper, and it'll be using this so I can have fields that stretch across an entire space with homes in between them. And then I'm not really surprised that this one's not as busy, but I think having this one set up keeps these guys from driving all the way over here and bombarding this. And as it continues to grow, it's just going to become more useful to have that. And I think this looks like, I get that this is going uphill, but I think it's at such a, like, whoa, like, that slope's not terrible for a train. Yeah, they have to put a bit more work into it, but that's just a matter of getting there. I know trains that I've seen trains that literally do switchbacks where they, like, come down and then go in reverse and then go and then go forward. Like, they have, like, a little tag at the end just to be able to park up and then go back. Like, there's a lot of different ways to move trains around. I think this one is decently realistic with the expectation and understanding that you're gonna use a bit more fuel just to get them up that hill. And that might be something that I think that's something the city's willing to do. I mean, $3 million, 3 million credits in the bank and still gaining, like, that's worth it. But that's also not realistic. What are y'all complaining about? A dead person is waiting for transport. So we're on a death wave here. Deceased capacity, and there's a crematorium right there, right here. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. It just needs to deal with its death wave. I probably want to go ahead and put an old folks home in here to... Wait, here it is. Do I have one of them in here? Do I have one anywhere? Okay, no I don't. Let's put one in. Behind the recycling center. I feel like I'd be okay with getting rid of a little bit of this residential here for this. Or do we just have... That's a little bit too realistic. Well, there we go. Let's put it right here. I hate this mod sometimes. And maybe that can help. And we'll give them a little bit more of a view right there to that. There we go. A nice little connection to the park. This is like play space, and maybe that'll help level out our death waves that are going to happen due to just I mean I covered this was residential. I kind of have to expect a death wave. I hope that helps level it out. I know that's the purpose of that building being created. So I really like what we've done today. Our tram lines, 1,000 people riding this currently, and they're not full up. There's plenty here, and the stops Well, this stop's a little bit insane. But that stop should be insane. It's right there next to the train station. So, they all just make logical sense. And the one up top seems to be doing well, pretty well too. Goodness gracious. So, with that, I appreciate you guys coming here and watching this. I know this video was really choppy. Life has its circumstances, and we deal with them accordingly. What's that? There it is. Yeah, life has its circumstances. We deal with them accordingly, and I will always prioritize myself, and I would always expect everybody else to prioritize themselves too. So, go take care of yourself if you need to. If you're here and this is you taking care of yourself by distracting, I completely understand. Your feelings are valid. Just please keep coming back. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching this. I've been Robbie of the McFly Variety, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.